Hi there, I'm Bill Hitchcock. Welcome to the program. Lots of stuff to get out to you. On today's program, we're going to talk about the governor's announcement of a new Marine Fisheries Commission Commissioner. This just came out. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about shrimp trawl and gill net reduction. This is very surprising. Also speckled trout, more news, more updates. Our last show 2 days ago was on speckled trout in the upcoming meeting and went over their fisheries management plan. And then we're also going to talk about viewer comments. Great viewer comments, and I thank you very, very much for each and every one of them. By the way, like, subscribe, and share this video, all of the videos, because the response has been tremendous, and I thank you very, very much. Now, let's get on to it. The governor's office. Governor Cooper announces boards and commission appointments. It wasn't just, in this case, it's the Marine Fisheries Commission, but it wasn't just them. He announced, let me just get this out here, Willie Thomas Kloss, that's C-L-O-S-S Jr. of Durham, as a member at large of the Marine Fisheries Commission. Kloss is a financial consultant and the founder of his own corporate and institutional financial consulting firm. Kloss has over 25 years of experience in aiding organizations with financial management and improving their organizational operating results. He's there up in Durham. He's a graduate of Morehouse College and Duke. Quite impressive. Willie doesn't say anything about fishing, by the way. He's filling an at-large seat. There's several different seats on the Marine Fisheries Commission. You've got a commercial seat, you got a recreational seat, you got a scientific seat, and in this case, it's what's called an at-large seat, which means you're none of the other ones. So I guess you're supposed to be altruistic, generic, no allegiance to anybody. And I've requested information on Mr. Kloss. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Again, that's C-L-O-S-S. On Mr. Kloss. Again, I don't know if he even fishes, have no clue. But there is one thing that is very concerning to me about Mr. Kloss, and again, I wait for the information. It comes from a lawsuit that was filed by the Coastal Conservation Association back in November of 2020. The lawsuit is to ban shrimp trawls. And lo and behold, looking on the list, there's Mr. Willie T. Kloss, and I'm putting this up full screen right now. He's part and parcel of this lawsuit against the state of North Carolina about wanting to ban shrimp trawls. And I'm going to go into great detail in another program about this lawsuit. It's interesting to say the least. So my question is, right now, is how is Mr. Kloss, Willie Thomas Kloss Jr. from Durham, in the at-large seat, which is supposed to be unbiased, when he's proven he does have a slant. He's on the lawsuit against the state of North Carolina about banning shrimp trawls. Now, I more than understand if you don't like shrimp trawls, you go, yeah, but I thought we're supposed to be true, because that's the only thing I'm really interested in is the truth. If it's good or bad for commercial fishermen, if it's the truth, fine. If it's good or bad for recreational fishermen, if it's the truth, fine. I'm after the truth. So as the information comes in about Mr. Kloss, we will get that out to you. Now, the next thing I wanted to move on to, what is the next thing I wanted to move on to? Shrimp and trawl gill net reduction. In regards to, well, we're going to talk about speckled trout here real soon. And don't forget, by the way, the Marine Fisheries Commission will meet in person August 21st through the 23rd at the Hilton Raleigh. You are allowed to comment up to 3 minutes. I encourage you to comment. You can send in your comments, and I'll put the URL address in the comment sections here at YouTube. I encourage everybody, yes, recreational fishermen, yes, commercial fishermen, yes, anybody, please speak. But I encourage you, you're only allowed 3 minutes to at least do an outline, because those 3 minutes goes by fast, and I want to make sure you make your points. You'll be surprised that I've seen too many people not let the time go by and not make the point they were trying to make. So please, that's coming on up in August 21 through 23rd at the Marine Fisheries Commission meeting at the Hilton in Raleigh. This is what I wanted to talk about that I don't think everybody's totally aware of. Fishing pressure. The two most hated gears in the waters by the ardent angler side. I can't call it recreational fisherman side. By the ardent angler side are shrimp trawls and gill nets. You want them both out of the waters. Listen to this. This is information from they call it the Big Book from the Division of Marine Fisheries. You can access it online. You can go to the division website and get all of this information. Now, let's talk about gill nets. In 1995, which is as far back as they go, there were a total of 2,701 gill net vessels making almost 56,000 trips a year. That's in 1995. In 2022, there was a total of 782 vessels making a total of 11,520 trips. That is a reduction in gill net fishing in less than 30 years of 71%. 71% reduced in less than 29 years. I think you'd be pretty happy about that. Now, shrimp trawls, the other thing that is hated and despised and whatnot. Back in 1995, there were 1,158 shrimp trawls here in North Carolina. They did almost 20,000 trips. Now let's go to 2022. There are now 280 shrimp trawls making 2,785 trips. That is a reduction of 75%. 75% of the shrimp trawls are out of the waters in less than 30 years. That's pretty massive. And speaking of which, one of the things that fascinates me about flounder, you know, this recent thing with the southern flounder and recreational only got 30% allotment, and the commercial got 70% of the allotment for 1 year, and within 2 years it's going to be 50-50. I hear all about that. Everybody's raising hell about that. But what I don't hear was from the Amendment 1 to the Southern Flounder Fisheries Management Plan, there was a 72% reduction across the board. Everybody got reduced 72%. I don't hear anything about that. All I hear is once we're down here, you got a bigger piece of the pie 1 year. Why aren't you complaining about the 72% reduction? It confuses me. Please go to YouTube and post a response. I don't understand. If you can explain it to me, that would be fantastic. I would love that. I don't understand why you're not complaining about that 72% reduction. You are complaining about the piece of pie, which you ate too much last year. That's why you don't get no pie this year. But within 2 years, it's going to be even. The pie's in half. So please, somebody let me know about that. What are we going to do next? Your comments, your questions. Let's go to them.
Viewer questions, comments, and concerns.
All right, we're going to go over your comments and your questions that you have posted at YouTube. By the way, these shows, these videos, these YouTube videos are posted in a lot of Facebook pages particularly. I don't even know where they are half the time. And people will post things at somebody else's Facebook to me. I don't see it. Please go to YouTube, post things there. Trust me, I might not respond directly in writing there at YouTube, but we'll do things like come on TV and we'll show you. Let's look at this first one. Seems like all they want us to do is pay for the license, but we can't keep anything. I understand the sentiment. Shouldn't be a fight between commercial and recreational. Us fighting each other is by design. We need to put that heat on North Carolina Division of Marine Fisheries. I do have one comment. Recreational fishermen, you don't realize the kind of friend you could have on the commercial side. Instead, you've made them the enemy. You don't realize the kind of friend you could have with the commercial fishing families of North Carolina. It does not matter. They have already made the changes. Our voices do not matter. Yeah, they do. We've been talking about where your voice can matter. Go to the Marine Fisheries Commission meeting. Speak. You have an opportunity to go online and send in your comments. You can handwrite a letter and mail that in. You do. And this, again, fascinates me back with Southern Flounder. It was in 2022 that they instituted these rules. Where were you? In 2024, you're complaining. Where were you in 2022? They want to hear. Even to the point they're putting surveys out after the fact to get more responses, and over 2,000 of you responded. Go people. Yay. So go to these meetings. It's always the consumer that takes the hit. Well, yeah, and let's define consumer. Let's really define consumer. Recreational fishermen, you're a consumer. You're getting a hit. If you can't go fish, you're getting a hit. Commercial fishermen, they're getting a hit. They're a consumer. And the consumers of the product of the commercial fishermen are the general public. And that is something, excuse me, when I talk about public resource, boy, we're going to get into that from that lawsuit from the CCA. It'll be fun. Okie dokie, eyeballs. Commercial guys don't report accurately nor admit the bycatch kill. Now, this is an interesting post. At YouTube, I noticed the guy's a photographer. I went and took a look at his website. He does wonderful stuff. He's from Colorado and has some tied to Alaska, which the Alaska fishery obviously is a whole heck of a lot different than the North Carolina fishery. Commercial guys don't report accurately. They have to. It's called the trip ticket program. Do I have that up here? Here we go. At the Division of Marine Fisheries, what is trip ticket? And I'm going to read directly from the trip ticket program from the division. It says from 78 to 1993, North Carolina commercial fisheries landing statistics were collected on a voluntary basis. Who would volunteer that? Through the National Marine Fisheries Service, North Carolina Cooperative Statistics Program. The growing need for more detailed and timely harvest data led the North Carolina General Assembly to mandate, you have to, trip level reporting of commercial fisheries landings for all state licensed fish dealers. Long story short, if a commercial fisherman wants to sell his catch, he's got to go through this trip ticket program. Everything is counted. The fish are counted, where, this, that, all sorts of information is recorded. And they've been doing this since 1994. 30 years of information. I think that's quite valuable. And I don't know if you realize it, but the commercial fishermen probably are one of the best resources for science and management, because they catch the catch. In the different locations, they'll show migrations, they'll show stock status, they'll show all sorts of things. And it's also why commercial fishermen don't just fish for one species. One of the reasons why, not the only reason why. All right, let's see, let's get on to it. What did I do? So the trip ticket program, somebody says, oh, thank you, facts are facts, and a lot of our roads and culverts and you may recall on the speckled trout special we did, the last show, at the very end of it, was showing the problem that we have here down east in Carteret County and other counties along the coastal North Carolina, where the drainage ditches haven't been maintained in 40 plus years. So whenever it just rains, I'm not talking about a hurricane or a tropical storm, but whenever it rains heavily, they fill up and the roads flood and personal property floods. So he's thanking me for showing that fact. So please, just be careful if it rains hard and you're going down, well, I'm here in Carteret County, if you're going on down east particularly, the road might be flooded on your way to Cedar Island. All right, and this one, Bill, thanks so much for your updates. I already like this. Thank you. Somebody thanked me, as opposed to, you Roger, foul, filth. You don't know what you're talking about. One of the things that's very funny, by the way, interesting to watch on the comments, is the numbers of people who are commenting who quite obviously did not see the video. That's one. Two, when say maybe I'm reading something from the Division of Marine Fisheries or Marine Fisheries Commission or some science thing, they think it's me. No, it's them, not me. I'm just reading, reporting on it, talking about it. That's all. So anyway, goes on, Bill, thanks so much for your updates. I'm afraid that recreational fishing in our state will soon be totally eliminated due to the negligent oversight over the past 20 years. Sad to think our grandchildren will never have the wonderful experiences our generation enjoyed. If we have any concern about future speckled trout stocks, get the trawlers and nets out of the breeding grounds and set a recreational slot at 15 to 22 inches with a 5 fish limit. Number one, I don't have the guy's name here. I'm reading off a piece of paper. Anyway, we can disagree. That's fine. I think a lot of people are confused by that. We can disagree, and that's fine. There's no hate, there's no vile. This gentleman expressed his opinion. That's wonderful. I want to hear your opinion. I particularly want to hear your facts. If you got information, send it to me. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I have no problem with that. If you disagree with me, that's fine. What I do have a problem with, and I'll just say it one last time, is profanity. When some folks will come on and say the most vulgar things, that's just, and I understand you're mad. I understand that. So am I. About a lot of things. How many times do I have to tell you, I'm a flounder fisherman too. I'm a recreational, not a commercial. Oh, Lord. So anyway, but let's talk about that. He wants to get the trawlers out. He's talking about speckled trout. He posted this in the speckled trout video that we just did 2 days ago. And I'm sure certain folks are glad that I'm posting the information so I can give them program content for their little YouTube videos. Oh, just have the beer and watch it. Anyway, I want to go back to the Fishery Management Plan Update Spotted Sea Trout, August 2024 status of the fishery. We showed you this last time, but I want to zero in on something very, very important because it's a misnomer that it's the trawlers that are killing speckled trout. And here's why I know that. They have listed out, and I'll put it up full screen again, from 1991 to 2023, that's 33 years of statistics on both recreational and commercial landings. Right off the bat, it's, again, you may recall, it is just so impressive about the releases for the recreational community. I cherry-picked, I think it's 2010, 93% of the speckled trout caught were released. Wow. Now, if you go back, that's a complete psyche change, whole mindset change in that fishery, or in the fisheries incomplete. If you look at the numbers from 91 to 2001, the catch, with the exception of 1 year, the catches, the keeps, far exceed the release. It was not a mindset of catch and release back in the 90s, back in the 80s. It was not. This is it's around 2000 that you start seeing the mindset change from catch and keep to catch and release. All the way up to just 10 years later, 93% of the fish are released? Wow. And I'll give you a great example. I won't name the names. There was a well-known bait and tackle shop in Morehead City, right there on Arundel Street, that was owned and operated by a very well-known speckled trout fisherman, and he made sure that he was well-known as a speckled trout fisherman. This is when I was doing a live, daily television show about the coast of North Carolina. I was visiting him. I was in his shop, and the last people left. He goes over to his door. He locks the door, and I'm going, what the heck's going on here? And he comes over to me. And at the time, the division had just instituted a 10-fish limit on speckled trout. And he looks at me and he says, tell me, Bill, truthfully, if no one's looking, are you going to stop at 10 fish? I'm not. And that was the mindset 30 years ago. And I realized that probably most of you watching this weren't even born in 1991, but the mindset has changed completely to catch and release. Now, on to the point. If down at the bottom, the division averaged out the whole 33 years. And what they showed is number landed, the speckled trout that were kept by recreational fishermen was a little over 1 million. The release, on average, was over 3.5 million. That is a 78% release rate. That's amazing, particularly when you think about what I just said. The decade of the 90s was all keep, just about all keep. There was no really release. What I got? Oh, the average size weight of the fish was 1.6 pounds during this whole time period. But when you look at the weight, they've got the weight listed for commercial fishermen. There is no catch and release with catch and keep unless it's a dead discard. Yes, I know. But if you look at the total weight of during this entire 33-year time period of what the recreational fishermen kept and what the commercial fishermen kept, you see that 82% goes to the recreational side. The recreational fishermen are responsible for 82% of the caught speckled trout over a 33-year period, which means the recreational side, 18%. So when somebody says we got to do something about the commercial fishermen in regards to speckled trout, no. 82% goes to the recreational side, 18% goes to the commercial side. So it doesn't make any sense to blame commercial fishermen for any stock status situation that we have here in North Carolina. Yes, you are releasing 78% of your catch, recreational fishermen. Amazing. Keep doing that. But for the kill, you're responsible for 82%. Yes, we don't have any information here of dead discards on the commercial. I know that. We also have no information about the survivability of those tagged fish that you release. They don't all live. And as you may recall during the special we just did on speckled trout, that there was a tagging program 20, maybe 30 years ago, speckled trout tagging program that they had to stop because why? People were just sticking fish all over the place, not recording information. The mortality rate was going up. What? Time out. So, and as a friendly reminder, if you do want to tag fish, and I think it's just any fish, you do have to go through a training program, which is fantastic, whether it's flounder or speckled trout, and I highly encourage you to do that. I highly encourage you to tag fish. So again, this makes no sense to me as to why you're blaming commercial fishermen when the recreational community is responsible for 82% of the dead fish, speckled trout, speckled trout. So anyway, I'd love to hear from you. BillHitchcock@mail.com, 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 or post your comments at the YouTube channel. Let's see. Well, there we go. At the YouTube channel. I read those. I read those. If you see one of these videos at a Facebook page or somewhere else, the chance that I see it is very, very small. I'll just say 0. So please go ahead and go to the YouTube channel. Please like, share, and subscribe these videos. That helps. And until then, go to the meeting coming up. Oh, Lordy me, I've done it again. The Marine Fisheries Commission meeting, August 21st through the 23rd at the Raleigh Hilton. Speak up. You got 3 minutes. Be prepared. And also have handouts. If you got information, you got to have at least 12 copies so you can pass it out to the Marine Fisheries Commission. And as we find out more information about the new at-large Marine Fisheries Commission Commissioner, we'll let you know. Till then, Bill Hitchcock. Bye.
Hitchcock Television. 40 years of television and film success.